or floating rise. It's a deep water rise, and there are some scientific name also. And this is actually very, very long. You can see it's very long stem, and it can survive at least few weeks of water. So if there is a flooding and water is logged for a few weeks up to certain height, so it can survive. So that all these crops will be not destroyed during the flooding time. And next to that area, they also constructed some small houses using this type of barrel. And this is called the floating house or amphibian house. During normal time, it's like this. And during flood time, the house is actually floating with these barrels. It's very simple technique. And there are four pillars, guiding pillars, actually six pillars. There are two and two on the other side. So this will guide that building to going up and down, not to float away from this location. It's very simple technique. There are something also started in one of the part in Thailand. We have observed about the mangrove plantation. So they are trying to put mangrove all across the coastal line, and the coastline is actually increasing, and the siltation rate also increased. So coastal erosion about 5 to 6 kilometers actually reduced to a great extent. So these are the projects they have started, and we used to go for, it's called mangrove school. So students are visiting there. These are the bamboo, all are natural. It's all eco-based approach, eco DRR approach. This is another project activity right now. I'm involved as a sort of work package co-lead um, in this project with three countries: Vietnam, Bangladesh, and India. This is a large-scale 5 years project with the UK government as actually to understand the delta, and we call Living Delta Hub. It's a scientific group. About 100 scientists are there in this group, and we're trying to understand the delta in all aspects, that physical, social, every aspect we will try to see. These are the area actually we're trying to focus. Obviously, resilience is one of the major part of my concern under the project. Yeah, this is just to show you the how the things works in terms of the risk communication. So on the right side, as a researcher, maybe we are focusing too much on the right side, but the left side is sometimes also important, not directly for us, maybe it's important for the decision makers. So whatever information you are communicating from the right side, it should go properly to the left side as well for the proper implementation. That means like we are generating the hazard map or different type of profile, a risk map and all this. If that map is not properly communicated or implemented on the left side, we can see the picture what I showed you, unplanned urbanization and eventually the disaster with a great loss. So these are the techniques normally we are applying um, to develop some sort of risk index or risk map. These are the four major overview. Almost we are in the end, DRR mainstreaming overview. So we have legislation or legal institution, policy framework, strategic framework, and operational framework. So we have different type of activities under each of the framework, and some of the different groups are also engaged at different level. Maybe some of the works are doing at the country level, some of the works are also doing at the community level. So this is the final version or final slide for the mainstreaming DRI in the development sector. So when the development process actually adapting the DRI techniques and tools developed by the scientists and trying to implement in their development planning, that is the process called mainstreaming of disaster risk reduction, especially in the development sector. There are a few reasons, like when you have discussed or when you have studied some detail, it's a difficult and complex process, and also political will or support is required. National disaster management agencies should be on board. These are the few selected books published by me with my colleagues. I actually took lead in these 4 books recently published from Springer and some of the major agency like major publisher like Sage. And this book is actually the textbook. Other books are primarily the reference book. The Natural Hazards Management in Asia is the textbook for the students. Uh, yeah, it's very much available in India. This one and this one, this Sage. We have a long list of partners we are working with, uh, spread across the globe. Yes, so with that, I'll conclude. Thank you so much. Now, I'll be happy to respond to your questions if you have any.
I request all participants, if you have any questions, please write it out in the chat box, or you may unmute yourself and ask the question directly. Okay, so I don't think we have any questions.
Yeah.
Sanish sir, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Uh, so let us wrap it up. Sanish sir, please.
Thank you, Indrajit sir, for giving your valuable insights. In a summarize, if I say you have also showcased the various case study on the flood resilient schools, which is in Thailand. So that was the much attractive part of your presentation, and also flood resilient crop, flood resilient house, and what are the different type of disaster impacts on different social sectors. Okay, so I hope your address would have paved our ways to understand the um, this risk management. And thank you once again, sir.
Okay, thank you. My pleasure. So, okay. So, with that, also thanks to all, and I'm signing off.
I thank our participants and the management of ITMBU for having this great session. I also thank our participants for giving their time and attention. And thank you a lot, Professor Indrajit Pal sir. I'll be communicating with you again over mail after this lecture. And we hope to have such collaborations with you in future as well, sir. It was a great experience to have you here. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.